What's up, peeps? Today I'm going to show you how to change your Modern Warfare 2 on console looking like this to something beautiful like this. Ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into this video. But before we do start off, shout out to my Naughty Gang. If you guys want to be featured, comment down below. Naughty Gang. Now, let's jump into the settings. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and open your settings menu, go all the way to the right, and we're going to change a bunch of things on this one, so bear with me. For the first one, we're going to go into the graphics section. Now, for the on-demand text for streaming, this always had issues in Warzone, so in this one, I just keep it at auto, and there is no download limits. If you do have any limits with your Wi-Fi, then do set those limits here. Next up, remember to have world motion blur and weapon motion blur completely off. If not, it will feel super blurry, and you're going to feel like you have motion sickness on. Next up, for the film grain, remember to go this and put this all the way down to 0. I have noticed in the past that this one doesn't really affect that much, but again, we keep it at 0. Depth of field, again, something pretty important. Remember, you want to keep it off. What this does when you have it on is if you were to aim in here, something over here, it would start blurring off backgrounds, and that is something you definitely don't want. So remember, always keep this off, and then you won't have any blur on any backgrounds or anything like that. Now, this one is one of the new, both of these are one of the new things they added, which is called the Fidelity FX, and this one basically sharpens the image significantly, making it seem super sharp, and then with some colors it makes it pop out a lot. So go ahead and turn this one on, and then this one on the bottom, make sure to have it all the way at 100, and that's going to give you the best sharpness available. Again, remember, I'm in gameplay right now, so I can't change it, but the 120 hertz, even though if you have it available, it would start as off. So remember to turn this on. It'll make your game nice and smooth. And so remember, with the FOV, you can play around with it. I play at 109 and I've been loving it. I feel that 120 is a little bit too zoomed out, so 109 is the one to go for me. And then obviously in the brightness, I do keep this at 50. I haven't really played around with going to 55 or anything like that. I feel 50 is a nice point in the middle, and there's not really that many places where it's super dark and you can't see. Next up, we're going to open that side menu to the left, and we're going to go to interface. Now, through here, we got another important one. Here, the text chat background opacity, I set it down to 20. I don't want it to pop that much. Text chat message duration, I go to short. And then here is the other one, the color customization. We're going to go ahead and open this one up. And from here, this one would usually be selected as none. Now, there's basically like two filters. There's the filters, and there is the color palette. So for here, we're going to select filter number 2. Once you select that, make sure this is on both, so you get world and interface. The world color intensity and interface, both of these set this at 100, meaning that's going to give it the maximum colors that it has. And then for the HUD color palette, go in and select Delta and Nopia. Now, some of these colors were a little bit different, so I did change them, and I went ahead and put the enemy as yellow, and it is super good. Yellow is actually one of the colors that stands out the most in the world. So when you see a yellow thing going above their heads, it's going to be super easy to track them. And again, go ahead and change some of the other ones. Your team, oops, they kind of kicked me out of my game there, but the team, go ahead and select this at light blue. Again, I think this was like purple. Party, go ahead and keep it as green. And again, like I said, enemy, keep it yellow. Contested, yellow as well. Neutral, just put white, and then you will be in a red ping in your mini map. And now, these are some of the things that you can make your game super smooth. Obviously, if you want to go for the full realistic feel and make the graphics even crazier, go ahead and turn crosshairs off, but obviously I wouldn't really recommend it, as that's not the best for competitive. The hit markers visuals, you could also take these off, but again, I wouldn't recommend it, as is always a good visual to have, so you know when you hit the enemy. The damage based hit markers, again, like if you hit a headshot, or if you hit a kill streak, it will have a different color than the other one. Again, this is a good one. Now, this is a pretty good one for the interface. Now, you can either change how you look at a player. Either you can have the full name abbreviated, or just the icon only. Now, I would definitely recommend to have the full name. You can even have the icon only, but the full name might be a little bit better, as when you're aiming at a player, you can see that they're clearly an enemy and not a friendly. And that was pretty much all the graphic settings that you need to change to make it as optimal as possible for your console on Modern Warfare 2. Thank you for tuning in. Peace out, and I'll see you all in the next one.